Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today this will not be a part of a longer tutorial series. I am just gonna make a quick video on how to make some nicer progress bars. I was setting this up for my own project that I'm doing, so I thought I might as well show you guys how to do it. I will also upload this finished project to my Patreon, so if you feel like you want to support the channel a little bit more, you will get access to this finished project as well as all the other projects I'm making. So plenty more stuff coming there. So anyway, basically this is a more advanced progress bar than the normal boring one. See, if we shoot, we got this back bar that goes down slowly, and we got this white damage indicator at the end, and we got a little bit of a gradient going on in the actual red, and I'm gonna show you how to set this up. It's pretty easy, and yeah, so let's just dive straight into it. Basically what this is a widget blueprint. So just right click and do a user interface widget blueprint, and this progress bar, it consists of several other things, but it's still very performant, so you don't have to worry about that, because I'm not using like UI bindings or tick functions or anything. This is just pure call functions, so or event. It's fully event driven, so no worries there. So basically what a lot of tutorials do is when they do like percentage here, what they do is they bind, and they do like functions here, they bind the percentage there. That actually takes, so that's not the most performance, that's made for prototyping, so I do not recommend you doing that. UI stuff can be pretty heavy. So this is fully event driven instead. So basically what we have here is we have one background image, which is just like the background. Then I have one bar that is behind another bar. So if you want to set this up, just make a background image of whatever size you want to, and then one progress bar. And they are the same size, as you can see. These two progress bars are the same size and the same place. You can see the positions. Just copy that if you want to have the exact same size. We do a slight offset on the top and to the left, so we get a nice corner, as you can see. And for the background images, I have them both to transparent, so the alpha is fully transparent. And because the background will instead be the background image, and which is this one, and then we're just going to use the fill image instead. For the fill image, I have a gradient. It's a slight gradient just to make it look a little bit nicer. You can do whatever you want. We can have some other, we could also use like some other image if we want to make it look a little bit more survival gamey. You can see that now it looks a little bit more survival gamey. That's also fine. I'm gonna give you the image as well. It's gonna be in the project, but this is basically just like I just made, yeah, just Google like grunge texture or whatever, and just cut it out the way you want it to. So you can see the setup is very simple. It's just two progress bars with some images on the fill image. The indicator is actually just a slider. So the slider instead, you can see you have this value, and the value of the slider is pretty much, it's just going to be set up to the same as the percentage of the bars. So as you can see here, the slider is actually using the same values as these ones to align. Oh yeah, it could be set to exactly the same. Whoops, 20. So the slider is using the exact same values for the location and the size. So that means that it's gonna align. I'm just 0.7 for default values, just so that we can see how it looks. And yeah, if you want to change the color or whatever, just change the background color to whatever you want to. You can do front if you want to do a mana bar, maybe something like that. Now it's mana. feel free to play around. You could also do the background image to whatever you want to. I have this another background that I use just to make it look a little bit more rough, because I'm making a survival thingy gamey. You can see it looks a little rougher. So yeah, you can set it up however you want to. Feel free to make your own images, and you could even do like, you could animate this in materials as well if you wanted to. You could make some bubbles or whatever. Yeah, or use whatever textures you want to. There are plenty of ways to do this. Just look at other games and see what kinds of, like, how their progress bars looks, and try to copy it. Copy is the best type of flattery. Anyway, the way it works is, so that's the basic setup of the actual progress bar. The way it works is, let me just remove, oops, that's not supposed to be removed because that's very useful. That's one of the things we actually need. So, here we go. Almost ruined it. Let me just see so it still works. No, I removed the function that is needed. Set percentage. Yep, there we go. That was stupid of me. Am I recording? Yep, very good. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. Sorry about that. So in the progress bar, the way it works is we have in the progress bar, you can start by making a function called set percentage, and that takes an input of a percentage, and it's gonna be a float. So the float is just a normal float. So this will be target percent, so you just set it from here. So it will be named target percent. Then on this set percentage, we grab the front bar from here, because what you want is the front bar is you want that to go down instantly, right? So as soon as the event is called, you do set percentage. So that will be target percentage. And you also wanna save the current percent of the back bar as a variable. So we save that as this back percent holder. So this is just a temporary holder for the current percentage before we decrement the back bar. And here is where the magic happens, because the big issue with widgets is that you can't really do lerps very well in them. So I actually got this float timeline, and it's not mine, it's not me who made it, but it's a freaking genius who did. I'm gonna post the link to a video, or actually a link to the guy who originally made the entire thing, to give him some credits. So do follow that and get it. I'm not gonna go walk through it because I don't want to steal, you can see, I don't want to steal that guy's thunder. So you can, there's another video, and there's a link to the project where you can actually download it, and just copy this function over from that project. So you just copy it and then paste it here, and you will get this one. So basically what this is, this float, it's a timeline just made in a macro instead. So this is pretty much a timeline. So that makes it so that you can do timelines inside of widgets, which is super useful. I'm not sure why it's not a function. It's because timelines is actor components and widgets aren't actors, so that's why. But it's silly, it should be available. I think Rama, if you know who that is, actually he has a plugin with some extra blueprint nodes, and one of his is actually widget timelines that you could also use. There's plenty of ways to do it. You could also actually drive this from the animation, from the character, and just send the back percentage through as well if you want to do a normal timeline. But this works fine. we just put in the duration, 0.5 seconds. You can do whatever you want to, 0.3 or whatever. Then from the out value, we do a lerp. And the alpha value of the lerp is the timeline. So it goes from, yeah, actually this timeline, float timeline, you need a curve. So when you download the project, you need this linear curve. So this is just right click, make a miscellaneous, right? Curve. I just called it linear curve. And you do right click, add key, and you set the first one to, which is this one, you set the first one to 0, 0, then you do it again, right click, add key, and you set the second one to 1, 1. So that means it will go from 0 to 1 over 1 second. That's the curve, it's like 0 to 1. So that's pretty much what we want to do here as well. So use the linear curve, you input it here, linear curve, and it will go from 0 to 1 over this 0.3 seconds. And we want to start at the back percent holder to get, so we don't want to just grab the percentage here because that's going to be updating on this. So we want to grab the back percent holder, which is the first value, and then we're going to go from the first value to the target percent, which is this one, over 0.3 seconds. And we're going to set percentage on every tick update here. And then we're going to do the same for the slider. The slider is going to go down instantly, so we don't need to do that on tick. Actually, we can just do that here. Silly me. Or like we don't need to do that on the updates. We only need to do that once, so we can do that here before the actual timeline. And that's actually it. So this is the slider. You just grab the slider and you set the value of the slider. So the front bar and the slider will go to the target percentage instantly, and the back one will slowly go down. So that's how we get this effect. And the way I did it with and then when you want to call it, so in here I just have this demo target dummy. It's just a demo target dummy that I made quickly. It has a widget attached to it. A widget, and this widget is this progress bar that we just made. You can see if we set it to world, you're gonna see it there. But now it's aligned to the screen. It's the widget class, so that means that we can see it. And yeah, so basically what happens is on any damage, so this will probably be your AI class or whatever you want to shoot. This is just a way to update the actual progress bar. So on any damage, in this one I have two variables, one called max health, one called current health. This should probably work in multiplayer now as well, because they are replicated variables. So on any damage, we take the damage, we subtract the damage from the current damage value, and we set the new current health. Then we take the current health and divide it by max health. So this is get health percentage. So the part through the hole. So current health divided by max health gives us a percentage between 0 and 1. And we call this set progress bar percent. So you make a new custom event called set progress bar percent. And to get this progress bar reference, we need to actually get this variable that you don't have. So to do that, you need to get the widget. You need to get the user widget object. Then you need to cast to the better progress bar, which is this one that we just made. This one. And we set the reference. We can do a return value here as well. and we could drag from here so that it gives us a return value also if it fails, so that it doesn't stop here. And then since you could remove this, what you could do is you could get the percentage and set the default values to 1. I'm just doing it on the begin play here, just because I want to see like how it looks here. So we start by setting the percentage to 1. And that's pretty much it. Event any damage you can call however you want to. You probably have your own damage system. Right now this is just a first person template, so the only thing I did was on the first person projectile, I just removed the logic that is here, and I just cast the other component to the demo target and do apply damage, which is an engine server function. So this is replicated by default. So I mean, I'm not sure it's gonna update because I haven't actually tested it. And this weapon isn't replicated by default, so, and I haven't done that, so I don't think anything will happen. No. But that's another issue. That's not part of this tutorial. I just wanted to show you how to make a progress bar. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the, so it's not a hard setup. What's the time? That's 16 minutes. If we wanted to add this to like our own character, I can actually do that now. What's the time? Yeah, it's fine, I still have some time. So we would do you probably have a HUD. I'm just gonna do WB game HUD. Oh. Clear HUD example. I'm just gonna add a canvas, and then I'm actually gonna drag in this what did I call it? Better. I'm just gonna drag in one of these better progress bars. Gonna align it down to the anchor. It's down there, and on construct I'm gonna do set percentage to 1, and basically in our player now, I'm not setting this up in a super professional way now because I just wanna it's just for show, but I usually don't create widgets in the player character. Create widget, we'll do the HUD example. I'm gonna get the player controller. We will add to viewport. We will also promote it to a variable called HUD_ref. Actually, I'm just gonna drag it through like that. I'm also gonna do is valid. Here we go. Yeah, and you can see that we now have the progress bar in our corner. So let's now do, if I just press 1, we can do the same thing here. Current health, max health. So this is a float, this is a float, and they are both gonna be 100 by default. Nope. They're both gonna be 100 by default. We're gonna get the current health. We're gonna get max health. We're gonna divide. And we're gonna get current health and do subtract. -20. We're gonna set current health. So whenever I press 1, we reduce current health by 20. And then we get this HUD reference that we just made. And we will set percentage. No, we need to get the better progress bar. Set percentage. And that should be it. Yeah, and since we're playing on shoot, yeah, this is why. Custom event. Client setup HUD run on owning client. Because we're adding it twice, I don't remember how I usually fix that. Do I fix that by just not adding a flame controller? I never remember the node. Remote. There's a node for this. Get remote role or something. I don't remember what it's called. What's it called? It's called client? It's not called client, it's called... We have has authority, then there's another one. Maybe we can do remote. There is a node for this, I just don't remember it. Let me pause and find it. Yeah, there we go. So I had to Google. I forgot this all the time. I get confused every now and then. So it's this one. It's locally controlled. There we go. So if we are locally controlled, we can now update our HUD. So whenever I press 1, it's updating. So you can also use it for your own progress bar on the HUD. So that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. If you like the content on the channel, please like and subscribe. If you feel like supporting me with some extra dollars, please become a Patreon. I will upload all my projects there. Everything I earn will go directly to my own project. And I'll see you in the next one. More videos coming soon. Peace out.